So as you can see, we've snuck our way into a Norwegian Cup final, but the transfer window has also closed since we last saw you. And as expected, some bids came in for some top clubs for our best young talent, including a bid from Atalanta for the judge Reinholdson. We turned this down instantly. Reinholdson is not a player that we want to lose, and this was not a bid that was enough to turn our heads. However, a huge bid came in for Roy the Boy Henriksen, and the board interjected on this occasion. And can you blame them when Molde were offering £9 million up front, rising to £13 million? With add-ons, fortunately, it says much to the progress we're making off the field. I think that the boy wasn't in the slightest bit interested in heading to the bright lights of Molde as he decided to continue his development inside the Arctic Circle. Maybe that's got something to do with how we've been performing on the pitch. So since that last episode when we were beating Odd 3-0, we've won all 4 of our fixtures. If you include that cup semi-final, 3 more wins in the league, 2 of them not that convincing. A 2-1 win against Levanger was not our best performance of the season, but we got the job done. And then a 1-0 win against Molde was not the most fluid performance either. Then we needed the penalties to sneak through against Lillestrøm, despite being ahead twice in this game, including taking the lead early in extra time. We still couldn't beat Lillestrøm, so we had to take it to penalties, but we were much more impressive in our most recent game, a 5-2 win over Viking. Even more impressive when you consider that we rested a number of key players for this game. As you can see, we had debutants making their first appearance for the club in both of our full-back positions. Jorgensen and Fjellheim-Vik came into the team for injured and suspended players. We also played Herum, Renault. Henriksen came in up front and scored 4 for us. So it was a good performance when some of our top names were missing. We were resting a few because today we've got a big game. Okay, so I don't want to alarm anybody, but the gap at the top of the table is now stretched to 11 points with just 7 games of the season left. Today, we're in action against Vålerenga. It's going to be a tough game, but if we win it, then our gap will remain at least at 11 points, and Vålerenga will be as good as out of the title race. We'll have just 6 games left after today's fixture. That's 18 points to play for. If we are 11 points clear with just 18 left to play, then it is so close we can taste it. But, as hinted at, we have got some selection problems. And the main problem is this: Espen Larsen Plym has missed the last 3 games and he's going to be out for at least another week as well. He's picked up a hernia, and when you've got 21 goals in 19 starts in the league, well, you can see that this is a player that's been vital to us this season. Fortunately, the boy has found a little patch of form as well. He's on 15 goals in 12 starts. So the boy is going to deputise for him today. It was a close call, by the way, as to whether we might have picked young Christian Pettersson, because he's on 5 goals in 2 starts, continues to lead the club in terms of their training performance. And I think next season, if we can't bring Espen Larsen Plym back, and maybe if Roy the Boy has gone to pastures new, we can rest assured that Pettersson could be a Premier Division quality striker. We need to try and put in a good performance today, because if we could keep that gap to 11 points, we can all start whispering it quietly to each other down in the comment section that we might be able to pull off what, when we started Sub-Zero Hero all those months ago, seemed like an impossible task. I'm still expecting to blow it from here. I think we could lose today, maybe go on a stuttering little run for the next 4 or 5 games, and Rosenborg have been on this dance many times before, and they will come in and steal the title on the last day of the season. But maybe it's different this time. Let's look at the squad that we're putting out there to try and continue our dominance today. Monnier has been an incredibly good goalkeeper for us this season. Whenever a goalkeeper is averaging above a 7, you know that they've been playing well. The Ting has been struggling for fitness over the last few weeks. We've given him a few days off training, given him a little rest, because his attributes are developing nicely. And as a right back, he seems to have settled in this season. Bratton has been a leader for us at the back this season. We've got this agreement to sign him for £3.69 million. Let us know down in the comments whether you think bringing him back for that kind of money is something that we should be looking to do in the summer. We've been trying to extend some of the loans of our players who are only lent to us for this season, but we can't do it yet. Whenever we go to make offers for loans to be extended until the end of next season, it's greyed out at the moment. We can't do it until the transfer window opens, when I guess clubs might be reassessing whether they're willing to let them go. What we might be able to do instead is maybe wait a few more weeks, and when we go to make an offer, we might be able to just get them for the next 12 months, which will take them almost to the end of next season. But that risks them not being available for the last couple of games if we only get them for 12 calendar months. So we'll have to make a decision on that soon. We're going to be playing our first choice midfield today: Kirkvold, Bratton and Sturvold. And then as our front three, we're going to have Skogvang Pedersen, who has been struggling for form and fitness a little bit himself over the last couple of weeks. And the judge has been out for a couple of weeks as well, so he's coming back for his first game for a couple today. Fingers crossed the boy will fire us to victory as we go out there and take on Vålerenga. So we're the home team, we're in our blue shirts, and this is big. This is a game that if we win, the dream inches that little bit closer. It's so close now that we can smell its sweet aroma wafting on the breeze. But I am such a pessimist. In fact, I'm not a pessimist, I'm a realist. I've played this game for so many years that I've seen what can happen when you think the dream is close. So we are not counting any proverbials yet. But the boys have had an incredibly good season. They've only lost one game this season. So they know how to get things done in tight games, and this could be just such an occasion. We've got the Ting and the Judge combining down the right, and the Judge is stretching his legs. He's slung one over. He's got another chance to do the same again. He's gone left foot this time. It's headed away on both occasions. But we are relentless. The boys combining. We've got the ball to the Judge and he's had a strike. It wasn't a clean effort, but we have at least shown that we are looking hungry in this early start of the game. The Judge is in again. The Ting gets the ball over. The Judge is running the show at the moment. Plays well beyond his attributes. Being a key player for us. They've picked up an injury. We've got an XG of 0.25. And we're halfway through the first half. You'll see Rosenborg must be winning, I think, because the lead at the top of the table's already been cut to 9. That will go down to 8 if Vålerenga beat us today. And then another defeat and it's down to 5 and you start to get a little bit jittery. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Skogvang Pedersen's there. Ola Christian Bratton as the box-to-box midfielder has arrived on the penalty spot and thumped a header home. And Skogvang Pedersen has contributed. And contributed positively as well. He's slung in a cross. And what a header that is. What desire by Bratton to force that one home. And we've looked good value for that early goal, I think. And that stretches the lead back up to 11. And with 6 games left to go after this, could even I throw away an 11-point gap? Yes, the answer is absolutely I could. Will I? Well, that's what we're going to find out over the next couple of episodes. We're just before the halftime break. The Judge looking majestic once more. It's got another one over, and Skogvang Pedersen, who is a threat in the air, by the way, whenever the ball's crossed to that far stick, manages to get an effort on target. It's a slender lead, but I think we've been pretty dominant. We might even go as far as to tell the boys they haven't been terrible. We'll see you for the second 45. Okay, back underway. Fitness not looking too bad with a lot of the boys. which is encouraging. Couple of negative performances out there, though. Kirkvold at the base of the midfield not playing well. Roy the boy not quite having the game that the big build-up that we gave him perhaps warranted, but we'll give them a little bit longer and see whether they can make the breakthrough. And right on cue there is Kirkvold. He's stolen at the far post. The Ting curled in the free kick. And 2-0 starts to look a little bit more of a pleasing scoreline. Well, Kirkvold has justified us showing faith in him and not hoiking him off at half-time. Now we just need something from the boy. His rating, by the way, has just bounced up to a 6.7, so maybe the boy's getting a little bit more involved. Maybe the judge can help him now. He's got over on the right. He can sling a ball in. The boy doesn't even move. He's waiting to pounce once more. Here we go. Sturvold. Kirkvold getting more involved. Bratton's involved as well. The boy is just waiting on the edge of the area. Ready to pounce. Delmar. Not got a great cross on him. He's just giving it to somebody much better than him. And there the judge has a little effort. And they've tipped it over the bar. We're actually playing some pretty decent football. We've made a little tweak, by the way, to our tactic for this game. Because both of our wide men want to play as conventional wingers, we've moved Sturvold off being a Mazzala, and instead we've got him as an attacking playmaker. We're playing a brace of playmakers, both a deep-lying one and an advanced one. Not something I'm a huge advocate of, to be honest. But we're giving it a go for today's game, and it's not done us too much harm so far. We're getting towards 60 minutes played. We're going to see this highlight out, and then I think we're going to make our first change because we've got more important games to come, and we want to try and bring some fresh legs onto the pitch. Here's the boy. Could be one of the players we're looking to take off. Skogvang Pedersen's in. He's been brought down. Skogvang Pedersen is the designated penalty taker, although I'm looking at it thinking, do we switch it to the Ting? Do we switch it to the judge? Given that the Ting is confident and playing well, we're going to throw it over and see whether the Ting can wrap this game up at 3-0. Still only a pup. I think he's still 17 years old. Doesn't faze him though. He strikes his penalty confidently into the corner of the net. Third goal of the season for the Ting. And now we can make a couple of changes, I think. And we are 3-0 up against one of the most dominant teams in Norway. And a team that were third in the table at kickoff. We're going to make our changes now. Bring on some fresh legs. Hopefully, maybe, even score a couple more in the last half an hour. Okay, back underway. The change we've made is to bring on young Christian Pettersson. He's gone up front, but we brought him on for the judge. And Roy the boy has moved out over onto the right-hand side of our attack. We're now racing our way towards 75 minutes. We've got a couple more changes to make. The Arctic Tiger goes in, trying to get in on the action. Okay, final two subs made. I think it shows our strength in depth, by the way, that the two players we've brought on are our captain Håkon Skogdal and a player that's got 4 caps for Norway in Christian Berntsen. It shows we've got a little bit more strength in depth than I think we've had at any point in the past. And that's a pretty good performance. We've restricted Vålerenga to just 3 shots. And I think we've got to tell the players we're pretty happy with that. How did Rosenborg get on in their game? Well, they've won convincingly as well. So they keep the pressure on at the top of the table. But 18 points left to play for. 11 points clear. We're going to come back in a couple of games' time because although nobody wants to mention it, I think we could be about to become sub-zero heroes for the very first time.